Hello everybody, my name is Nathan, and I am the man with a cartoon obsession. Today's review will be on something that caught my eye when I first saw the poster, and it was something that I was looking forward to watching and talking about. Therefore, I'll get right into my review of the new Netflix animated movie, Arlo the Alligator Boy. Arlo the Alligator Boy premiered on Netflix on April 16, 2021. It was produced by Netflix Animation and Titmouse Inc., and it was directed by Ryan Craigo in his directorial debut. This movie also happens to be a musical. Here's my stance on musicals real quick. I rarely ever go out of my way to seek them out, but when I find one that I like, I usually end up really liking it. I was just never a big musical film or theater fanatic. That being said, this movie being a musical didn't make me want to watch it any less. The movie follows Arlo, who's half alligator, half boy, hence the title, and his journey to New York City in order to find his dad. Of course, Arlo's viewed as a misfit, and he ends up meeting other misfits on his journey. He's also being chased by a couple of hillbillies who are trying to capture him so they can make money off of him as some sort of sideshow attraction. The plot is run-of-the-mill, to be honest, but that doesn't automatically make something bad. I find the main character, Arlo, to be a pretty strong protagonist. He wants to get out of a swamp that he's been living in ever since he was a baby, and of course, when he finally gets the chance to do so, he doesn't know anything about the outside world. However, his kindness, helpfulness, and determination gets him through his journey along with the friends he meets along the way. I like all of the misfits he ends up traveling with as well. There's Birdie, a giantess who says that she never really stays around the same people for too long, and she just keeps moving forward, always on the run. We get to know a little more about her throughout the movie as well. She's a likable character and very helpful of the group, especially Arlo. Then they run into Teeny Tiny Tony, a rodent-like creature who pretty much only cares about money, Felicia, a flamboyant hairball-like creature, Aaliyah, a tiger girl, and Marcellus, a fish-like creature with legs. And we don't really get to learn too much about where they came from or what their stories are, but they act as a good support system for Arlo on his journey. I also like the villains, Rough and Stucky. They're not all that smart or intimidating, but they're still entertaining to watch. The last character I want to mention is Edmé, Arlo's adoptive mother. She raised Arlo ever since he wound up at her home in the middle of the swamp. She is protective of Arlo, but she also knew when it was time for him to learn about his dad and go out and try to find him. Not to mention she's the source of some of the movie's greatest comedic moments.
Plus, I got a whole slew of warrants out there for my arrest, and I don't want to go to prison again.
In fact, the movie has a lot of comedic moments. It does get into some sad territory, but there's no shortage of humor to help ease the tension.
That's sort of funny, isn't it, Edmé? A mother without a name? Happy, yay, happy, yo, happy diddle doo doo.
I may have mentioned this before, but I'm a sucker for a good adventure or road trip story, and this one is quite enjoyable. Plus, I have to give them props. This movie truly captures the essence of New York City.
Hey, I'm walking here!
I'm walking
Hey,
here!
I'm walking here!
Lucky!
The movie also looks pretty good. The character designs look a little odd, but they're also whimsical. The backgrounds look very vibrant and colorful, both in the swamp and in the city. I'm not really surprised though, because I'm a fan of Titmouse and they always do great work. The voice acting is also one of the film's strengths. It features a strong cast, with some of the standouts for me being Jonathan Van Ness as Felicia, Annie Potts as Edmé, and Jennifer Coolidge as Stucky. And since this is a musical, naturally there would be some musically inclined cast members as well, such as singer-songwriter Mary Lambert as Birdie, Red Hot Chili Peppers bassist Flea as Ruff, and former American Idol contestant Michael J. Woodard as Arlo. Flea's character doesn't sing, but the other two do, and I really enjoy their voices, but I have to admit that I'm not familiar with either's work prior to this film. Regardless, I love the songs in this movie. They do a great job of conveying how certain characters feel at a particular moment, which is usually the purpose of songs and musicals, so they get the job done. The background score consists of a lot of banjo music and just country instrumentals in general, at least in the first half. But most of the musical numbers go in a more modern pop direction with a little bit of mainstream hip-hop and maybe even a little R&B mixed in. I think it's a nice mix of styles, and since the main focal point of a musical is the music, I have to say that all of the numbers and even the score do a great job at complementing the rest of the film. There is a lot to like about Arlo the Alligator Boy, but it's not without its flaws. It's mostly just confusing logic, though. I never understood the logic of having anthropomorphic animals and normal ones in the same world. If one animal can walk and talk like a person, why can't all of them? Also, people down south are afraid of Arlo, which makes sense seeing how he's an alligator after all, but people in New York City don't seem to be scared at all. I don't know if it's because they think that kind of thing is normal, or maybe they don't know what alligators are. I honestly can't tell. Another thing I don't understand is the fact that Aaliyah drives the bus that gets the gang to New York City, but she clearly can't reach the pedals. How is she driving then? I guess these are mostly nitpicks on my part, but there is some more logic in the movie that I don't understand, and there are some questions that remain unanswered. But those could potentially be answered in the upcoming series I Heart Arlo, which does not have a premiere date as of recording. As a whole, this movie isn't anything that reinvents the wheel, but it is a pleasant watch. I had a blast watching this movie, from its likable characters to its catchy songs to its charming art style. The team knew what they wanted this movie to be, and I'd say they succeeded. Overall, I give Arlo the Alligator Boy an 8 out of 10. If you're a fan of cartoons and/or musicals, I think you'll enjoy this film if you haven't seen it already. And now for one more dig at New York City because, well, why not?
Is this heaven? I think it's Brooklyn. It's really trashy.
Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you have any other cartoons, anime, or other animated works that you want me to talk about in the future, please let me know. After all, it's not my channel, it's our channel. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and feel free to check out my social media pages, audition for an outro, and join the official Cartoon Session Discord, the links for all of which are in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
I'm King Candy, Turbo from Wreck-It Ralph, and thank you for watching Cartoon Obsession. Have some candy.